Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Scrap Mechanic Survival Unleashed. Today we are going to be finishing up the sorting system, which I think I might have gotten bug-free or kind of with fail-safes to make things work. And we're going to add and start the logistics system and storage unit. This is going to be the second most complex creation that I've made on this factory, so this will probably take a couple episodes. As you can see here, I am testing out the sorting system, and so far I have had at least a perfect run with the beetroot sorting. So now if I switch over to maybe, let's see, tomatoes, what will that do? Okay, everything is fixed. I don't know what happened there. I mean, I do know what happened and I fixed it. This is now unnecessary. But I think everything is pretty much almost 100% working in the point of like it'll get the packages across every time. However, I will probably end up redoing this. I saw a lot of your suggestions and kind of want to try those out too, just in case things still fail with this current system. But so far everything works, and if I do change things, it'll definitely be off camera. As you can see here, I've actually extended out this a little bit, or a lot of it. Essentially what I'm going to have to do is get all these packages in their own little pipelines, or large pipelines, up top and across, at least on the other side of this orange container right here. So now what I'm going to do is take this and this pipeline, shorten it a little bit, and try to get it so that every single crate is at least this high, or I think, yeah, this is the minimum height, and can get across this orange container right there. Oh, it looks like I think I've done it. Well, not the whole thing, but I have managed to get the tomatoes to this part way over yonder through the use of various elevators and pushing mechanisms. So far, the sorting machine for tomatoes has been 100% efficient, and nothing has gone wrong too much yet. I did have some trouble trying to figure out how to elevate the tomatoes while on the shimmying sorting machine thing, but I think this sort of ramp with the higher friction blocks work, because if I do it with the lower friction block, the package or crate tends to just slide down and doesn't even get anywhere. So it gets to the elevator, waits for a little bit, pushes up, gets pushed, gets thrown here, and then that gets launched just about consistently out here. And then I can do whatever I want right here. Perfect. So yeah, so I'm just going to do tomatoes for today. I'll get to the rest in the future episodes and between them. So what we're going to do here is actually get to the meat of the project. And really this is more of the skin, because the meat is going to be figuring out how to do all this other organizing and stuff. Now that I'm out here and I have so much space, I can actually start doing the logistics system. So far the goal, somewhat goal is within quotes. I don't know exactly how easy or hard this will be, but the goal is to make a shelving system that is logic based and can have a crane or a grabber or some sort of robotic arm that can take the sorted crates and packages, store them onto the shelf, and then another crane and arm that will take this whatever that's needed and then put them onto a belt that then gets put onto a shipping container thing. It'll be this complicated system. It's going to be way over engineered and not practical for anything, but it'll be really cool to see, so I'm going to try to do it. You know, the more I think about it, I realize that for the tomatoes, at least, this elevator isn't really necessary, because I didn't need to go over this crate at all. I could have just kept it lower to the ground and just pushed it along down here. So I wasted a bit of time, but I think having an aerial system kind of looks cool to watch the crates go over, and I'll have a lot more room for myself or any other drones or vehicles that need to go travel along the bottom right here. So for now, I'll leave this here. If you guys don't like it, let me know. If you do, leave a like, leave a comment, do whatever you want, subscribe, and all that other stuff. We're going to try to get to 10K by maybe July. That's my goal, is to get to 10,000 subscribers by July. All right, what we have here is a staging area. This staging area is for the crane or claw. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this. I think I'm just going to do a claw, and then I'll build the shelving probably like right here. I don't think there's any reason for me not to put it right around this area. So this is going to be the start. Well, maybe this will be a prototype test shelving area thing. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to end up looking, but I want to just get the robot claw thing working for this episode, and then we can figure out exactly how this logistical shelving will work later. So what we're going to have here is a platform. This is point B, and the starting point A right here, which is the crate docking, loading, I don't know, staging station. And we're going to need a claw that can grab, yoink from over here and yeet to over there. That's what we're going to say. It's going to yoink and then yeet. It should be pretty simple. I'm going to have a platform. We're going to just make a nice flat ground. We're going to make things out of tier 3 metal now because it's strong and because I'm now in Haybot territory even more. So I don't want anything to go wrong. I haven't finished building this wall yet, so I'll have to hope for the best and hope that nobody comes in and destroys all this stuff that I've been working on. That would be so sad. We are definitely going to need some pistons and controllers for the claw. So let's start off with a ground piston. Let's say it goes up and it's kind of around here. Let's do 2 just in case something goes wrong, and also it's uneven if I don't do 2. So that'll be... Oh, it needs to swivel. So I actually just need 1. Oh gosh. Oh no, it's uneven. You know what? It's okay. It's all right. It doesn't need to be even. In fact, we can even have it be like on the side right here so that it can grab from the side so it doesn't even look uneven. So let's actually try that first and then see where it goes. Okay, we now have a piston on top of a bearing, which is right here. Can't see it that much. That's just how it is. We are going to put a block. I don't want this claw to be too heavy, so we're going to just use the sturdiest-ish material that we have. This is really bad durability, but it's better than most of the other blocks that are this light. So I'm going to have to make do with what we have. What we're going to do now is put a joint on this claw. Put it probably around here. I don't think it needs to be too fancy. Let's actually make it actually a really fancy double joint. I think that'll actually look a little bit better from the outside than just having it on the same side. Okay, we now have a makeshift-ish T-joint here. We're going to probably need to do a lot of iterations because I honestly don't know what will work best for joints and positioning areas and stuff like that. So, you know, let's spread this out here. I do know I want to at least be able to move this claw around a little bit more than it looks like. And I actually, you know what? I'm going to put a bearing on this thing too. Let's actually put this on a bearing as well. Okay, here we go with a dangly arm. It looks great. What we're going to do now is add, I guess, the controller or so that we can at least see what things will look like so far. So let's just stiffen up these bad boys right here. Maybe even get this guy stiffened up. Now, what we need to do is ensure that this piston or this arm can go up and twist to the left and then grab or yoink. The logic for this should be really simple, actually. If the bearing or logic gate is on, it lifts this up. We're going to make this a little bit faster, like so. We can make it a little bit higher, actually. So let's go like 8 to 10. So it reaches to 10. It twists over like 90 degrees, maybe. Oh, well, that's going to be a problem, of course. There we go. So 90 degrees isn't going to be good because of this angle that we have here. So it being in the middle is probably the best bet. But I think we can make do, you know. Scrap mechanics make do. Just like country girls. So what we can do here is either have extendable arms via pistons, or we can just have a straight up clamper that comes up and grabs this bad boy. We got a hay bot. Oh man, we got lots of bots around, so we're gonna have to be careful. I'm not really sure how this will work, to be honest. We're gonna go for it though. So now that it's twisted at, you know, just about 70 degrees right here, I want to see what this will do when bearings 1 and 2 are twisted downwards, and that is, say, 30 degrees. Oh, that's the wrong way. Let's just reverse that. Okay, so this kind of works, but the problem is center of pivot point is way too high. So what's going to happen is actually, instead of this being the main pivot point twister, we're going to have this only go like 15 degrees or so. So that should bring it up a little bit. And now what we're going to have are pistons that extend downward and grab the crate. You know what? This is dumb. I don't know why I'm even putting this on the angle like that. This is just making things harder because I have to deal with this angle. So what we're going to do is actually just move this towards the center of the actual thing like I should have done earlier, but I was too lazy to change it. Now that we put this in the middle, what we're going to do is put extenders here to go forward straight some, and then we are going to also, you know, connect everything back so that we're not all floppy faced. I don't know exactly if I should make it clamp down or, well, yeah, we're going to make it clamp down. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just kind of thinking as I go. I normally try to plan these out before I even record, but this one is kind of freeballing it right now. Okay, here is like a second iteration of the prototype claw. It's a bit rudimentary, and I'm going to actually need multiple controllers to actually get this job done because I have so many moving pieces. I can probably figure out how to consolidate that and make it a little bit more simple in the future, but for now we're just going to try to see how much we can get working. Alright, we are trying to edit the controllers now to see if we can get this to work. I'm not entirely sure if it will, but we do have it at the point where it is twisted over 90 degrees properly and extended out just about at the center point of the package or crate. And now all we need to do is actually extend these other pistons downwards. Actually, we're going to need to extend them out too. So we can actually do that at the same time and actually do that earlier in the stage so that we can save an instruction or two. Smack somewhere towards the middle there. Yeah, that should be good. Now we need 9 and 10 to go down by, well, let's do 3. Yeah, 3 is going to be good. And now finally, once we get the controller down, we need to retract these other pistons here like so. And I'm not entirely sure if it's actually grabbing it or not. We won't know until we retract 8 or 9 and 10. So if we bring these up to what, 0, I think is what it is. Yeah, that didn't grab it at all. I should have known. So the problem is because these packages are pretty slippery and there's aren't a lot of good gripping blocks, I don't have really any grip on the side. I don't even know if it's even possible to pick up something on the side with pistons in this sort of formation. So let's see if we can maybe add some more just blocks right here to see if we can add more friction that can go against these, and maybe it'll do something. Maybe. Or the more I add, the more it's starting to get weighed down, and that's not what we want. We don't want a heavy crane claw thing. We need this to be as light and agile as possible while also being able to carry heavy loads. Okay, so the problem with this is actually the fact that these crates are a bit too heavy in the first place to even grab with this sort of mechanism. So what we're going to have to do is, first of all, make this a little bit more sturdy because this one joint right here is just flopping all around, and that's not something we want at all. So a simple solution, or kind of simple solution to the problem that I'm having, is adding a cage of sorts to the bottom of this crane. Instead of these wedge blocks here, I'm going to just simply put in little, I guess, clampers things. I'm not really sure exactly. I think if I add in little clampers, I should be able to get underneath the crate with the claw, and that will allow me to pick up the crate with a little bit more ease. Okay, as I expected, there's not enough room in this little area, so it's gonna be a little bit different. So we just gotta extend out these walls. Basically, that's the only change we need to do. We're going to do it on both sides so that we can have enough room. I just want to have enough room, honestly. So I don't think it matters too much how wide this area is, or this loading dock is, because as long as the crate falls down within it, we should be able to pick it up with the claw. Right, the loading dock is a little bit higher, or wider, excuse me, and now we can even extend out these pistons right here so that they have a little bit more breathing room, so when they extend downwards they won't try to come in contact with the crate as easily as they were before. See how far they extend down. I want to make sure they get to the very bottom, so if this isn't at the bottom, we're going to just have to adjust. Okay, I've adjusted it, and now it should be at the bottom. It is kind of tilting this whole apparatus up a little bit because it's touching the bottom, but it should be fine. There we go. You can see that little kind of clicking area sound. I don't know what to describe it. It just kind of clicked in place. So hopefully now if I raise up these 8 and 9 to 0, we should be able to pick it up. Nice. Okay, it's picked up relatively properly, actually. Oh, goodness. That's pretty impressive. I don't know if this is going to even be able to move at all, but we've got the yoinking pretty much halfway done. The final step of yoinking is going to be moving these pistons inward. I don't think I really need to, but just so that we can reduce any collateral damage, we're going to have to reduce the length of this piston, so we can't swing it all the way out and around. Okay. That is a bit dangerous, so we're going to make sure that's not actually fully 0, maybe 2. That way we can keep things going. And now the hard part is going to be twisting this around in the manner so that it doesn't just throw the package out, because we don't have stoppers on these either side, and I don't think I want to create a third dimension for grabbing. Although if I have to, I will. So let's just make this move all the way 180 degrees. There we go. And it didn't fly out. I'm not entirely sure how, if it'll work, but if we... Oh gosh. That is the one problem with controllers, is they go back the opposite way they came. So I'm not sure entirely how easy this is going to be in the end when I try to actually automate this. But for now, we're just going to get the yoinking and yeeting in place, and then we'll call it a day. Work a crap ton off camera. Hopefully get these other 4 in row, but we might want to try to finish this one first so we know exactly where to model everything else. Okay, the first rough draft of the complete iteration of the claw is just about complete. This is definitely not, I mean, like I said, a rough draft, so I will be changing things around, but this is the first test I'm having that I actually ever did. So hopefully this goes well on camera for the first time. So we got the claw going down, it reaches through, it kind of goes in, it has a little bit of a hard time picking up the... Interesting. I'm not sure exactly. I don't even know what happened there. It should have went down fine. Okay, here's another test. I didn't change anything at all. I just kind of let it run its course. And now it's working. So, I don't know exactly what happened there or why, but will it reach the shelf? Oh, shoot. That's hilarious. And now it's saying nope, it doesn't reach. Okay, good. We can call this a somewhat success. The problem is that I put a sensor right here that actually tells it to stop moving when it reaches the other side. And I should probably just put a delay or something, like, I don't know, like a 10-second delay before it actually does it, so that we don't just have it constantly saying, all right, go back. The 10-second delay should be good. Now it is trying to... Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Okay, so we're going to have to figure out exactly how to prevent it from basically reversing everything it just did. Besides the fact that I will be making these packages move forward on like a conveyor belt a little bit. Actually, that's what I will be doing. So that'll like get rid of the initial problem, because it does put it back fine. So if we get it going... Whoops. Also, something that we can change is actually the angle, the final angle on these two, bearing 3 and 1. We need to lift it up a little bit to compensate for the weight of the crates that we have. So that would be... Okay, here is hopefully the final test of this claw machine. It goes down, it reaches. Oh, I see what's the problem here. The first time it tries, the package isn't all the way in place that it needs to be for it to actually get reached properly. So, oh gosh, 15 degrees is way too high. Okay, well, here we are with a finalized sort of test. I removed the automation and now it's automatic, but we can pretty much make this automated really easily if I just did the right things. However, I think I might change things in between cameras, or in between episodes, so I don't want to do too much work right now on it. So right now, this will be the final test, and I'm going to hope that it works. We can have a sensor like on the ground right here, or this sensor right here working. That will then turn on this bit, which then turns on the claw. So if we can get up here real quick so we can get a little bit of a point of view. Oh, it kind of worked. Yeah, I would say that kind of worked. I wouldn't say it worked great because we are like slightly out of hand, but it did get the yoink point, or the yoink yeet that dynamic did work. I will say that. And now the crate will travel along here. I don't know if we'll have an apparatus come up to push it or if we'll have a conveyor belt. We can easily do that really easily. And yeah, so we delete it. Then this will recognize that it's deleted and then come and reset itself in a hopefully quicker manner than this. I think we'll need to figure out a new way to get controllers to work. And I think I have a system down, but that'll take some research. But I hope to have that done hopefully by next episode, and then I can show you guys exactly what's changed. But until then, I hope you guys have a great morning, afternoon, night, or evening, and I will see you next time.